Yes, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Daily Dose podcast. Today, we have another very special guest with us. We have someone who has been around in battle rap for as long as I can remember. He makes great music and he is an absolute legend in the UK hip-hop scene. JOKER STARR, how's it going, man?
Not too bad, mate. Thank you for the nice intro. How you been, man? How you finding the podcast game?
It's been alright, man. I mean, this will be I was working it out just before we started. It's the 26th episode that I've done now, and I started last Wednesday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've been overwhelmed with the response, and it's been a lot of fun to do, but one or two episodes have gone wrong along the way. I've never really done this before, but we're working on getting that sorted, and hopefully we'll still be able to release the episodes. But how about yourself? You've been keeping busy during these times. You said you are still working and stuff, so...
Yeah. It's still out and about working this week. I haven't been out much, which is cool. Just giving me a chance to sort out things at home, which I haven't had much time to do just because of the hours that I'm usually out and about. Gave me some time to focus on some music, creatively, stuff around the house as well, and also like I've always been a person never to have any recording equipment in my yard, so I prefer to go somewhere and do it. But you know, it's just with how things are going on and no kind of secure dates of when and where we'll be able to move around freely. Like, it's made me just fast track my procrastination of getting a home set up, sorted out. So just been in my yard spending a whole load of money.
Yeah, man.
Left and right clicking, you get me? So yeah, everything's alright though. Can't complain.
Nice, man. But I mean, from my standpoint, if we get to hear more of your music coming out regularly, then I'm all for that, man. That's going to be amazing. But just before we get into the regular questions that I've been kind of asking everyone in regards to battle rap, like I discovered battle rap around the time that Don't Flop kind of started. O'Shea versus Lego was the first battle I ever saw, and I've been obsessed with it since then. But for me, I think one of the very few rappers to have appeared on Don't Flop that I've been aware of since before seeing Don't Flop and seeing rap battles was yourself. Yeah. So you've been around for a long time now, man. But what was it that got you into battling? I'm guessing you were into it before Don't Flop kind of started out.
I mean, I was always a little bit into it. Like, one of my elder friends, he used to show me some Scribble Jam bits and pieces back when the internet was dial-up or you got it on tape. So, one of my friends, he showed me, the on-beat stuff. I also was quite a big fan of the jump-off stuff. At the time when, how can I forget my boy's name? That's so embarrassing. But at the time, one person I was, like talking to quite regularly was on the jump off, going around New York battling a couple of people. I think he battled, Iron Solomon and he battled Mims. So I used to talk to him.
Was it Mike Assassin?
Yes. I was gonna say Master Ace. Yes, it's not Master Ace. It's Mike Assassin. So I always used to talk to Mike Assassin about battling, but you know, I'd never really practiced freestyling or coming off the head as much as it was all about freestyle back then, and just like 1-2 punches. So I can't remember what order I got into things. Whether it was Smack, whether it was Don't Flop, or whether it was Grind Time. It was around Grind Time. Yeah, it was probably around Grind Time, and Grind Time started to pop off a bit. Well, it was the 2-on-2 jump off first, obviously, and then after that it was a bit of Grind Time, and then after that I found Don't Flop online. I think I can't remember what the first battle I saw. I was like, oh, okay, they do written battles now. So once I saw Don't Flop, I went to a event in London. I think Tenchu battled somebody. I can't remember. It's so long ago. It's like a decade ago. So Tenchu battled someone. Was kind of cool with Tenchu. I went up there, met him, went to a couple of events, and there was the event where Verb T battled Kruger. I was like, oh, okay. All right. So it's kind of like, if he's going to do it, I'm going to do it. I didn't know Verb T at the time. You get me? So.
Okay.
I didn't know him personally. I knew his music and that, but I didn't know him personally. So I spoke to him, maybe it was on a Facebook conversation and that, and he said that he would talk to Starr for me to get me involved. And then around just before my 30th birthday, I got a message from the staff, and they hooked up the first battle, which was Prince Kong, at a festival in East London that was going on. So like an indoor festival at different venues in Hoxton somewhere. So yeah, kind of got into it through Verb T, really. Yeah,
Nice.
Verb T giving me the alley-oop. You know what I mean? And it was cool. The first battle was cool because it was on stage, it was on mic, so it wasn't like a big learning curve in terms of that, you know, but the big learning curve came with the other battles with, you got the cameras and you got the crowd around you and you're not necessarily rapping to someone. It's just a big learning curve that I went into it kind of like with no idea what I was doing. But, you know, as I did each battle, you know, I'd started to imprint my own style, my own ideas. And, yeah, man, let me stop waffling now so you can ask question number 2.
Not at all, man. No, I love it. And it's, I always just assume, because Verb T was one of the few other people that I was aware of before Don't Flop kind of thing. And, like, I always just assumed that you two were kind of friends, or like you'd done shows together in the past, because obviously you guys end up teaming up a few times. And like, how did that come about then? Was that just through Verb T kind of being the one to get you involved originally?
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's similarities and there are big differences with, you know, competitive MCing and MCing to music. So I can't even remember the conversations that we had to team up, but you know, it was a big learning curve that we kind of learned together. Because I can remember going to events and people just not talking to me. It's like, what, you know, like they saw me as someone who didn't really, what is he doing there? He's a musician. He releases music. Why is he here? Why is he getting involved? So, yeah, he was just one of the few people that actually spoke to me, to be honest. So, yeah, we kind of went on a little learning curve together, help each other out, you know, bounce off each other. And it was, yeah, I think it was someone that I needed at that time. just to get a bit comfortable in doing it, like, cause my, skill set as a MC, like it kind of tested all my techniques because, going into the booth, I never pre-learn lyrics and go in the booth. Like I either write it as I'm there and record it, or just read it off the paper, and however it came out is how it comes out, like organic. But you know,
Yeah.
one of the reasons why I decided to do the written format battle rap is that it would force me to work on things that I hadn't worked on before. Not necessarily performance wise, but certain disciplines in practice and repetition, and you know, kind of the cadences that you use. And I kind of went a bit deep into it. Like I would go and not study, but I'd watch preachers and pastors and public speakers, so, and how they engage a crowd with just the words that they say and how they say stuff, the pauses, the actions with the pauses, you know what I mean? So I think whilst doing that, like, for me, it wasn't necessary. Part of it was, being disciplined in, kind of learning the lyrics, which I didn't do much of the time. You get me? Life kind of got in the way with that. But also, like, you know, my style, I wanted it to be a very performance-based, loud, direct style.
Definitely. And you definitely achieved that, man.
Yeah, because at the time I came in, it was just a lot of jokes, mum jokes and stuff. So even when I started, like, I always felt like I had to whittle my style down, like not go too full on, because I didn't think it was ready for kind of like the similes and the metaphors and the, you know what I mean, intertwined rhyme style patterns. And, you know, once I kind of said, you know, F it, I don't really have to, I don't really have to kind of dumb my style down anymore. Once I came to that decision, like it was, I just kind of went on a little tangent on here and there, you know what I mean? So yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
all in all, hooking up with T was good, because I learned a lot of lessons from him and a lot of lessons about myself in terms of what kind of MC and skill set that I have and what the type of MC that I am.
I can imagine, man. And it's, you know, it's, for me at the time, like seeing you guys, like, you know, it was really exciting seeing both you and Verb T on the scene, because when I got into Don't Flop, I would have been like 14, maybe. I would have been like halfway through high school,
Mm.
and I'd been a huge hip hop and especially UK hip hop fan for a few years, like ever since the first time I ever heard Skinny Man on like Channel U or something. I'd been
Yeah.
pretty much obsessed with it and like going back through the archives and stuff. And yeah, just to see you and Verb, like two names that I was aware of through the scene anyway, was a really cool thing at that point. And like I became aware of you through, like, you'd been on like some Michael Parkinson albums and all
Yeah.
sorts, man. So it was amazing. And at that point of time in like Don't Flop, I think you were groundbreaking in the sense that, like you said, everyone was just kind of doing mum jokes, and it was all kind of comedy based. Whereas, don't get me wrong, you can switch it up and be very funny as well. But you
Mm.
were the first one of the first, at least, like aggressive battlers, and it was really fun to see at that time as well. Because that before I was aware of battle rap, like I assumed that would be what it was about, and
Yeah.
it was incredible to watch. And obviously you've been doing it for a very long time now. But what was the first event that you attended? Did you attend events as a fan first, or did you just jump straight into battling then?
No, I attended a few events first. There was one where, I can't remember none of these names, but I'd say the first marquee event that I went to, probably the second event that I went to, was the Blood in the Water Don't Flops, the ones that had verse Ilmac. I think that
Nice.
had what else was there? There was a bag of them. I think that was probably the one where I saw Bird T versus Kruger, and where I saw Truth versus Lee Scott as well. You get me? I think like the crew Lee Scott was with back then, like they did battle rap and music as well. Like, so it was Lee Scott and Monster Under the Bed as well. You had uh Disciple also, who was up north, who was doing the music and the battling, and his crew. But like, yeah, like you're saying, like
Yeah.
probably me and Verb T were the two most established. Tenchu as well was doing his bits. But yeah, the first event I can remember the name of that I went to was probably Blood in the Water. You get me? And
Nice.
that was a like a very kind of at that time was a groundbreaking event for Don't Flop. I think that was the first time they had internationals over. You know what I mean? Or that might have been the second one. But there was a whole load of good battles that event. So there was Censor and um
Was it Scissors?
Scissors, that's it. Wizard,
Yeah,
Scissors and Censor.
I love that battle.
I think
And Tenchu was up against what was the guy's name? Was it Hindu Rock?
Hindu Rock, that's it. Hindu,
Yeah,
yeah, Hindu Rock.
yeah. That was an incredible event, and like, I think I spoke to Jolly J the other day. Jolly J from Berlin, and he battled
Yeah.
Nishi at that event, which was both of their tryouts, which was amazing to see as well. And
Mm.
yeah, that's a incredible event, man. That's really cool. But and like you've been involved obviously for a very long time. I mean, according to Verse Tracker, you've got 31 battles in
Jeez.
total. I'm sure there's been a few more than that, I can imagine, because a few
Yeah.
have been deleted. But do any battles stand out for you as like the favourite battle that you've personally been involved in? Sorry, man. So the yeah, what was it that was your favourite battle that you've been a part of? I think you said I heard you say Disciple. Is that right?
No, the last question like ended where I did like a few moments that I was talking about my favorite moments that I've been involved in, like, so yeah, I broke down some moments and then I ended that old English one. You get me? But yeah, the Disciple battle, now you mention it, was another kind of moment like in my progression where I was trying out a few things and it just landed. You get me? In terms of like the loudness of it, the aggression of it, the timing of it. You know what I mean? The third round, like if you go back and listen to it, you'll hear the third round has a totally different feel to the rest of the battle. and stuff
Yeah,
like.
man.
So like in my whole development stage, like I'll just call it, like I was always adding and taking away things. So there'll rarely be a time where you go and watch one of my battles and you get the same kind of feel as the last one. There's always doing things just a little bit better. You know what I mean?
Definitely. I completely agree, man. And it's been fun to watch down the years as well. But like, so you battled on Got Beef, didn't you, against Pamphlet?
Yeah. Forgot about that one, yeah.
Where was that actually? Where was the event actually held?
It was held in Liverpool.
Right.
Like
Okay.
the guy who used to run that league stayed in Liverpool for a bit. So he hollered at me. And at that time Pamphlet was like the new guy on the scene, just coming up and mashing down everybody. So he goes to me, do you want to come up and do a battle against Pamphlet and some other guy? So I was like, okay, 2 in a night. Never done it before, but I guess it will help me with my plan of learning how to be kind of disciplined and prepare for battles. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. So yeah, it was held in Liverpool. I think on the
Right.
card as well, like there's a few other people on the card. I can't remember, but yeah.
Yeah, man. Because obviously that's an Australian league originally, isn't it? But I knew it was in the UK. But I was gonna say it would have been. Did you ever get like any contact to head over to Australia and battle for them over there or anything like that?
No, never had any international leagues holler at me for that kind of stuff, man. I think like
Right.
leagues over here, they had their favourites, they had their kind of agenda, and they push people who they want to push. You get me? So like the only people that like the international people that want it, I'm sure, like in the past, there's been internationals that have been asked if they could battle me, but the battles kind of got declined. Probably the biggest one was Marv one. You get me? Even up to last year, he was trying to hook that up, man. But I guess that battle's just destined not to happen, man. So.
Yeah, man, and I don't know if it's the same people. So I know that was booked for a league called the Platform, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
I think I could be wrong because I personally had no idea who was ever involved with the Platform. It was never particularly clear, but
Mm.
No Loose Chat have just started up, which is Snoop, Tally, and Paris, I believe, which is kind of like them breaking off from Gift of the Gab. And I
Yeah.
think in terms of what they've been booking for their first event, you and Marv One would completely fit on that card. And it's a battle that, yeah, like you said, it's been built up for a long time. The same way Marvin O'Shea has been built up for a long time as well. And it's always great to see Marv over here because he always puts on a show, and it'd be
Yeah.
a great battle to see, man. I really do hope that does happen at some point in the near future, especially considering that you both want that matchup as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's his fault. Like he started it, so yeah, man. It's unfortunate, but I guess that's just how life is sometimes, man. But if you know your like UK history, like that's one of the people say it's a grudge match. Not necessarily a grudge match. We're pretty cool, but yeah, I think that's one of the remaining battles that people would come out of their house for and pay good money for. You get me to see that one.
Yeah, no, definitely, and yeah, I was pretty much about to book tickets to the Platform event off
Yeah,
that announcement, man, but
yeah, happy you did.
unfortunately it's
Happy you did, brother. Happy
well,
you.
no, I booked tickets, but obviously got the refund a few days later, I think. So it was
Okay.
all good. But yeah, it's a shame, man. But hopefully that goes down in the near future. If any promoters are listening, the fans want to see that battle, man. But I mean, what would you say for yourself is like? Have you got a least favourite battle that you've been a part of? One that you're not overly happy with?
Not particularly one. You get me? Over the years, like, stuff that I've made mistakes in and stuff, like, I only really, like, check my battles maybe a few times. Get me? I don't really have a particular battle that I'm not fond of, because they were all learning experiences for me. You get me?
Yeah, definitely. And
so,
you
make mistakes, you have good moments, and then you watch it back, like, you might, but looking back on tape and in the moment in front of the crowd, like, it's two totally different feels, So everything's a learning curve. Even I thought I was bad in, because I didn't get good reaction, but you come back and you watch it now, like, you can still appreciate it now for what it was. You know what I mean? I think, yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, both of your performances have aged so well, considering how long ago that was as well. That's a really early battle right there. And
which one? Which battle's that? Which one is
that? The Yunnan battle.
Okay, see.
Yeah, that's amazing. But yeah, man. But like, for yourself then, so you've been to a lot of events, like. The majority of the events that I've been to, you've kind of been in the building as well. Like, what would you say personally is the best battle that you've ever been in the room for?
Ooh, you know what? Yeah, people don't realise, like, in the venue, like Southampton, how good Villain versus DK was in the building, mate. Because
okay, yeah.
People thought, what the hell is this matchup, innit? People thought, what the hell is this matchup? Villain's just gonna walk over. So Villain has his first round. His first round is pretty heavy. Says some pretty mean shit in there. You know what I mean? Like, for anyone, go watch that battle, you'll know what I mean.
Yeah, I remember that.
Her turn, she does a rebuttal, and she's like, yeah, she's fighting back. She's fighting back, mate. You know what I mean? Go on, DK. And her rounds were okay as well. You get me? Then Villain goes. He starts to fight back. And then she goes. She fights back. And it was just a good fight, mate. Like, the energy the crowd had, the energy they had between each other, man. Like, it was just a synergy, and, it was really good. So for that battle, I always say, for the surprise that it was and how good it was in the building, like, I will always say that was the best battle that I've seen live.
I like that answer a lot, man, and I think how the way that everybody underestimated DK really worked to her favour in those days as well, because in my opinion, she is probably the best freestyler in UK battle rap. Like,
she's no joke, mate. She's no joke. No joke whatsoever, mate. Like, she has, if anyone that can go toe to toe with the likes of Menace and Tenchu, like, you gotta give them their respect. You know what I mean? Whatever, I think female battlers and even female fans don't really, get the respect that they deserve on stage and in the crowds. You know what I mean? DK is one of the, I wouldn't battle DK freestyle because she'll kill me. You know what I mean? Same with Tenchu. Like, me and Tenchu almost battled at one jump off. You know what I mean? And I know, like, there's just a different skill set and smoothness with someone that can just think on the dot. You know what I mean? When my punches are a bit more deep and they may have, some double or treble entendres, that something that is just sharp and in the moment will get as much of a reaction, even maybe even more so than more of a reaction than something someone has to think about. You know what I mean? So I was always aware that, yeah, so DK is always someone that has my respect, man. You know what I mean?
Definitely. No, I agree. And it's like you said, Tenchu as well. Like DK and Tenchu just made everything look so effortless as well. It was incredible to watch. But
Yeah.
Villain DK is a really good shout, man. I like that, and it's not come up on any previous episodes either. And I love it when I get a new answer. So I like that a lot. But like, what would you say is, apart from the Marv 1 battle, like, is there anybody else that you particularly really want in battle rap? Like, any opponents that you'd like down the line?
Not really. Not really. Not really, man. Like, I think I've, at some level, just outgrown it. You know what I mean? Like, maybe one battle where there was a point just before, Shotty and, Arsenal was gonna happen. Me and Shotty was trying to hook that up, and I was trying to hook that up as well. So
Okay.
that was the only other battle that I really wanted to do, because we had some back and forth in some battles. Like, I would say something about him in mine and Verb T's 2-on-2 verse Sensor and the other guy, and he would say something verse, someone up in Manchester about Joker Star this, Joker Star that. That would have been a nice battle for the time. You get me?
Yeah.
Other than that, now, no, not really. There's nobody. No, and that's not even said in like a way that I think I'm better than everyone. Just like, no, there's not really any battles that I would want to do. I always
That's
ask,
fair enough.
who asked me that, I always ask them, well, who would you want to see me battle? You know what I mean? Who would you want me to battle?
I think there's a few. I've always really wanted to see yourself versus P Soldier, to be honest.
See.
I think that'd be a really strong battle. I think. I've not seen him battle for a long time, so I don't know if he's on it or not. But you versus Mr. Ree, I think, would make a lot of sense.
Oh, he gets smoked, man. Easy.
I like that talk, man. I think that'd be a good battle. I like Mr. Ree as well. He's
Would be good, mate. It would be horrible, mate. It'd be he's good, but he's boring. So one round, it was just even off the first round, of just the energy and the directness and the movement on stage, like it wouldn't be good for him. I mean,
I rate that
would
talk,
be
man.
like OJ, like OJ's the battle with him. He's supposed to be this and that. That you can't, when you're talking about the originator, there's no comparison, mate. You look like a boy next to the one who gave you your style and the direction for you to go with, like, you know what I mean?
No, I do rate that, man, and I'd I'd like to see you've battled Respect BA, is that right?
Yeah, he always wants a rematch, mate. It's almost been like 8 years. I'd always tell him the same thing would happen to him again. You get me? But yeah, that was, yeah, good shout. That would probably be the one that I would do from the UK people. Just because I like him. He's a good guy. You know what I mean? Since our battle, we've become pretty cool. You know what I mean? But, that don't mean that I don't give people I'm cool with smoke. You know what I mean? And, there's certain people on the planet that I would refuse to lose to, and he's one of them.
Yeah, no, I like that, man. And
It's be a good battle. Like him, our first one was a pretty good battle. You know what I mean? So.
do you know what? I remember I have seen it. I've definitely seen it, but What league was your first battle on? I can't remember where it was now.
It was in a Scottish league, Badmouth Battles.
Okay, right.
You know, I can't remember their names now, but yeah, it was a Scottish league, man.
Yeah, I do remember them now. There's been so many like leagues pop up and do like 3 or 4 events and then disappear down the years that it's hard to keep track of them sometimes. But no, that especially now, like in this kind of era, like that'd be an amazing rematch to see, I think. And I think on terms of rematches as well, I would like to see you and O'Shea go again.
Yeah, Soberosh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the same thing would happen, but I mean, he was one that I was not afraid to lose against, but you know his powers in it. So
Yeah.
the way I beat him was I just do what he does, but funnier. And like the first verse, just kind of nailed him. You know what I mean? And yeah, man. That would be one. But I'm just good friends with him, man. Like it would be, and his missus. I'm just good friends with them.
Yeah,
if
it's
someone
hard
comes
not
up with the money, yeah, money talks, doesn't it? So why not?
no,
Man.
definitely.
That might be one people would want to see, but I doubt it as much as maybe someone like BA. You get me?
Yeah, no, you and BA would be incredible, man. But like for yourself, then I'm always interested to hear like how long it's taken battlers to get to certain events and like the longest time they've spent traveling to the events. Like I was speaking to O'Shea yesterday, and he was saying how he spent like nearly 2 days traveling to an event in Sweden because of the way the flight was booked and stuff. But like,
Mate, nah, that's nothing then, man, compared to them. Like, we just on a coach, mate.
yeah,
Up to Edinburgh or something like that, like 11 hours on a coach. Yeah,
that's still, that's a nasty journey, in it, to be fair.
the worst.
Yeah.
Just for a little extra on the fee. It's like, it's not worth it, mate. I'm not doing that again. Not doing that again, mate. 11 hours. But then I did it again as a driver. I drove up to, not for an event, but I drove up there and like Nan said, no, I remember what this was like on a coach. I'm never doing that again either. So,
And how long was the drive? Did it cut quite a lot of time off? Or?
About an hour, man. It was about 10 hours.
Shit, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, stuff you do for the things you love, man.
Definitely, man. But like in terms of yourself, like I kind of wanted to focus a lot of this interview on the music side of things as well, because that was how I first became aware of you anyway. But like, who's like some of the best people that you've done kind of shows with and stuff? Like, you must have done shows with some incredible artists now.
Yeah, I mean, the majority of the time I've performed with Michael Parkinson. He's a very good MC on stage, live in the UK. Verb T as well. The 4 Outs, I've jumped on stage with them individually at some point. Who else? DJ Jazz T. It's obviously an incredible DJ. One of the best. Probably just behind, it's on the same level as DJ Mr. Thing. You know, when you're watching them guys do their work, mate, and just make it look so effortless. Like, you just have to appreciate the greatness sometimes.
Yeah, of course, man.
I mean, I've opened up for AZ. I've opened up for MOP. You know,
Nice.
he one of my heroes. I've got to talk to Billy Danz and that, and was a bit like he was a fan at that moment. Like, man, he was a bit weirded out. But yeah, it was good to talk to him.
Definitely.
Hold on a sec, sorry. 2
No,
seconds.
no worries, man.
Hello? I'm alright, I'm just doing an interview on getting recorded, innit? What do you want? You alright? Oh, wicked. I'll pass around in a bit still. When are you gonna go to, Costco anytime soon? Okay. Some waters. Okay, no worries. Alright, see you later. Bye. Yeah, man, so yeah, MOP, met MOP. Like, to be honest, I've done so many shows with so many good MC. Jest is alright on stage as well. Jest is pretty cool.
Yeah, big Jest fan, man, to be fair, but
Yeah. I mean, like the stuff with Pete Rock. I've opened up for Pete Rock a good couple times.
nice. That's cool.
So yeah. I could name drop all day, like, but yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, I've done quite a bit, man. Like almost 20 year career.
Definitely.
So I've been fortunate enough to, seen a lot, been to a good few places, met some cool people along the way, and speak to a couple of your heroes along the way as well. So yeah, man.
That's cool, man. No, it's a really good list. And like, is there anybody that you've ever like had the chance to perform with and it's fallen through or anything like that?
Nah, not really.
No.
And like, I've been in no, not really, man. Like, just through my career, I've had some excellent experiences, man. So if I can't remember if there's a specific time where I was supposed to open up and it never happened. I more remember the ones where I wasn't supposed to perform and I got asked to do it last minute. You get me? So yeah, I did Five Dogs last show over here with Michael Parkinson, which was pretty
Sick.
cool, man. So yeah, probably just to flip that question, it's probably that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, cool, man. That's really good. But like, in terms of yourself, then, like, have you? And this is a difficult question, and everyone does struggle with it a bit. But what would you say is, if you had to pick your all-time favorite album, what would you go with?
Would have to be Supreme Clientele by Ghostface Killer. Just
Nice,
front
yeah.
to back, mate. Both versions, front to back.
I like
Beats,
that answer, man.
how it's mastered, the slang on it, the skits, the features, the hidden tracks. It's perfect. Perfect album.
Yeah, I love that answer, man. And it's not come up before either, so like that's again, I was expecting when I was asking people that question, I was kind of expecting to get the same sort of three answers. Like, I was expecting a lot of people to kind of say Illmatic. I was expecting a lot of people to say 36 Chambers. But to be honest, like, I think 36 Chambers is the only one that's come up more than once in like 20 odd episodes. So it's been good to see a bit of a mixture there. But no, I'm a big Ghostface fan myself, so that's a good answer, man.
Dude, man, like I saw him, I opened up for him the other day. Jeez, yeah. Not the other day, but maybe just before the turn of the year. And his show, mate, the first 25 minutes of his set is the best set I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Like,
Yeah, I love all of his stuff, man. Like I'm always, a lot of people I know that are into hip hop, they've not heard the album that he did with the Bad Bad Not Good collab album. Oh my god, I've forgotten
that
the name
live
of that.
with the one with the playing the like with the rock band or something like that. Yeah, like they're playing
Yeah, they
instruments and that. I've heard it. I'm not too familiar with it because I don't have it. But yeah, I know what you're on about.
yeah, Sour Soul, I think it was called, and it was like I love that album as well. That's one of my favourites of his, to be honest, and it's pretty recent as well. So it's got like Danny Brown and a couple of others on there as features, which is good to see. And yeah, I'm a huge fan of his, man. But like the next question, you might have just answered it there, really. But like, what would you say is like the best live act that you've seen down the years? Would that be Ghostface
Yeah,
or?
yeah. I mean, it would be Busta Rhymes and Spliff Star together.
Nice.
No one can touch them really. But if you had to, I'd say Busta Rhymes has a good show. An underground group called the Arsonists. They had a good show.
Okay.
Mm, goes for, see Wu-Tang, they have a cheat code because everyone knows their music. So they don't necessarily have to be the best performers.
No.
The music there, when they put the song on everyone likes, the crowd is the performer. The crowd makes the performance, not the artists. So they got a
No, I see
big
what you mean.
karaoke cheat code, you know what I mean? But
Yeah, no, I
Ghostface is up
understand.
there for 20, but he only had a good set for 20 minutes, so I can't put him up there as one of the best.
Okay, I
Uh,
see what you mean.
but yeah, it'd have to be Busta and Spliff Star, mate.
Nice. No, I've not seen Buster, so I'm very jealous on that front. But have you, just out of interest, have you ever got to see Big Daddy Kane live?
Oh my god, I forgot. Alright, scratch that. Cause Kane, nah. Kane a close number. I saw Kane in New York.
Oh
I
wow.
saw Kane in, yeah, the show I saw in New York, man. Well, that was the best kind of hip hop show I went to ever.
Yeah,
Seeing
yeah, he's
Kane, it would then all of the New York rappers just came out. So Keith Murray just got released from jail. Then there was a
mm,
battle with Knots and Master Ace that happened. Ice T was there, flipping. Everyone was there, man. Just dropping a little 16 past the mic. You know what I mean? It was wicked. But yeah, Big
that's
Daddy
amazing.
Kane live. I've seen him 3 times, and I've probably learned more as a performer. I've probably taken more stuff from Kane than anyone else. You know what I mean? Like I've seen Kane 3 times. I've seen KRS about 4 or 5 times. Pharaoh
Right.
Monch about 7, 8 times. But I've watched what Kane does, and I've taken more from Kane in my performance for my performances than anyone, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. To be honest, man, for me, he's hands down the best live act I've ever seen. So
Yeah.
it's
I can't argue.
yeah,
So, yeah.
nice. No, I like that, man. That's incredible. But I expect getting to see that in New York as well. That's amazing.
Yeah,
I'm very
man.
jealous.
These are just all things that I've notched up in my Rolodex of like experience and to use for my own experiences. Like so, I've all I wanted when I started rapping was to be the best. So I'm gonna see, see how the people before me did it, take from them, adjust, use it as my own stuff. And the same with battle rap. Like I watch, learn, I mix it up, try it out, see what works, see what doesn't. Don't use that, use that. And you know, for me, it was all about MCing was just all about getting better. The chasing perfection. You get me? Which is impossible.
Yeah.
But, you know, you can attain to be great. You can chase greatness, you know, and I got pretty close. So I'm still learning, there's still bits and pieces that I gotta learn, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm probably one of the few people that is always getting better, man, regardless of age. Like people kind of think like hip hop and rapping is a young man's sport. It really isn't. You know nothing as a youngster. You ain't lived, man. You don't have the experience, and so I'm the best that I've ever been. You get me? So
No, definitely, man. And you know, you see that in most artists. Like the one of the most fun things for me is watching artists progress. The more that they, you know, the more chance they have to meet new people, and the more life experiences they have, they get better and better. So it's no, I definitely see where you're coming from. And you're not actually from London itself, is that right? You're close by, but you're not from London. Am I right in saying that?
yeah, I'm not a Londoner. Not a Londoner.
Right. But is there a big kind of hip hop scene around you, or do you need to go into London for that?
You need to go into London for that, but when I was coming up, there was a hip hop scene around, like us wanting to learn how to rap, like at 18, 17, 16, not wanting to be on the street. You get me? So,
Yeah.
you know, I wouldn't say there was a big individual scene, but there had been people that had done stuff before us, you get me, who took us under their wing and showed us
Nice.
some stuff, you get me.
Okay.
And then through
Cool.
that, like I went to study in London, and then through studying in London is where I met people that would put me on my path, you get me. So, yeah. To answer
Nice.
your question, there's no scene in Slough.
Right. Fair, man. Is there any other, like, anyone else that came up with yourself, like, from Slough that has, you know, any other rappers that have come through from there, or are you kind of one of the few?
I don't know about the newer kids. You get me? There's probably more access for them to be seen in terms of like the internet. But for my era, Skanky the Ashanti was involved in the London scene. Like he's older than me, so maybe 3 to 5 years before me. Same with a guy that is another one of my friends who was involved a little bit. Yeah, so I have been around like people who had done bits before me, but I guess I did a lot more than them in a shorter space of time. So
Right.
yeah, yeah, there's a couple of my elders, yeah.
Nice.
Elders.
And then,
And then there's people under me who are more production based who work with a lot of the main artists now who are doing their thing. So a guy called JC, he's a producer from Slough. He does these
okay.
quite big things. You know what I mean? And I guess the people that I brought up with me, like Anyway the God, who's doing his bits and pieces at the minute. Yeah, so, yeah.
Cool, man. And like for yourself, is there any artists or musicians that are kind of lesser known that myself or the listeners might not be aware of that you're a huge fan of at all?
Uh, I check out this female from Kenya. That she was based in England for a bit, called Na Ito, Nahetoo.
Okay.
She's on Lee Scott's label. She does a few bits and pieces that I like. You know what I mean? No, like I just go and look for good music right now. Like I don't really have a particular artist that, underground artist that I follow. Maybe, obviously everyone knows Westside Gun and Conway at the moment, the Griselda stuff. Uncle John is spelled ANKHLE John. I think that's how you spell it. He's pretty good.
Nice.
A guy called Vic Spencer. He's pretty decent. Sonny Jim. Pretty
cool. Yeah, I like Sonny Jim. You've been on some of his albums as well, is that right?
No, not his albums. Like, he's been on mine. He's been on a couple. Like, I don't know. Not his LPs, but we've done probably singles and stuff together. You get me?
Right. There's a project that he did with, I think it was with Sleaze.
Yeah. I was on a tune with them, with Sleaze, yeah.
Yeah. Nice one. Yeah, that's well, I think it was more of an EP actually, but yeah, I'm a big Sonny Jim fan as well, so
yeah,
nice.
Way back. And someone else called The Fly Hooligan, DAFLY Hooligan. You get me? He's doing all right, and that.
I've seen him, I think, like, I've seen him mentioned on Twitter a lot, and I don't think I've actually ever checked him out, so
yeah, you should check it, man. Check out his new video with Crime Apple. You know Crime Apple? You fan of Crime Apple? Yeah, so he's got a new tune out with Crime Apple, which is produced by Oh No. You know Oh No? Madlib's brother, Oh No?
Oh shit, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, check that out, man.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm going to get onto those after this, man. That's really cool. But, yeah, I mean, that's essentially it for the questions for the podcast, Joker. It's, I've been ending it up with 3 very random questions, to be honest. But, in terms of holidays and traveling and stuff, like, if you could pick one country in the world for your next, like, holiday or trip, where would you go?
Before all this madness happened, I was planning to go Marrakesh. It's either Marrakesh or Egypt. Like Egypt, because I want to go and look at all the palaces and all the different kind of tourist places to see, but mainly for the palaces and the museums. Yeah, Marrakesh, because I just thought it would be nice and cheap. Get me? Morocco.
No, definitely. Yeah, cool, man. And where would you say is the coolest place that you've been so far?
I haven't really travelled much, man, but I'd say either Hamburg or New York. But I'd say New York. There's much more to do in New York than Hamburg, so New York.
Yeah, no, I see what you mean. I've still never been to America, unfortunately. I'm going to be going at the end of the year if all goes to plan. But I lived in Germany for a couple of years. I lived like probably about an hour and a half south of Hamburg, so I've been quite a few times. And I agree, man. It's an awesome city. Like.
Yeah, the Reeperbahn is pretty cool, man. From what I remember when I went there, like it was probably 2001.
Right.
They're called I don't know if there's still a place there called the Ganja Club when you went there. But the Ganja Club was alright. They weren't a smoking club, but it was just a club called Ganja.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's still there, but the Reaper Barn in general, there's so many like amazing venues around there, so it might have just kind of changed name or something. But yeah, man, Hamburg's a really cool place. That's a good answer. But yeah, just looking at it now, the Ganja Club is actually still there, but I've not been there unfortunately. So
Nice.
next time I go back, I'll have to check it out. But are you much of a sports fan? Like, have you got a favourite sports team?
Yeah, I'm a Liverpool fan, me. Football.
Yes,
Watch
nice.
I
It's a
guess you're a
tough time
Liverpool
for us
fan
at
as
the
well,
moment,
yeah?
man. Yeah, I am, mate, and whether we're actually going to get given the league title or not is up in the air, and it's hurting at the moment, to be honest. I've never seen us win it, so
Yeah, I mean, it
it's
would have been nice, but like, I'm in no doubts that if they don't get it, it will just spur the team on to go and do it again. You get me? So, they've set a
I hope
standard.
so.
Man City set the standard. Liverpool kept pace. Liverpool set the standard again, and Man City couldn't keep pace with their own standards. So, we'll see next year what happens, where they improve. I think, centre back, they'll get someone in if Lovren goes. People talking Salah going, madness. But there's also talk of Mbappe coming in, which is just hearsay here and there. But, I think no one has to go. Just bring Mbappe in. Let Lovren go, bring a centre back in, bring another left back in. You get me? Then you've got cover everywhere.
Definitely.
People say they need a number 10, someone tricky who can pass the ball and that. Maybe so. But then they'll just take up the space that Firmino takes up on the pitch, I guess, which is cool. You know what I mean? Have two people in there to be able to pass the ball around and start playoffs and that. But yeah, I'm not worried, mate. I'm not worried. They don't give us it, we'll just go win it the next year. It's not a problem.
I like it, man. Yeah, no, I want to agree because I've been, a lot of people asked me in the summer if I could have chosen between us winning the Champions League and the league, which would I choose? And it's the league. I've seen us win the Champions League before, and it's just got to be a league title for me. It's been so long since we've won one, but yeah, we'll wait and see, man. I don't really want to just be handed the title either. I'd rather see the season out and win it outright. But I mean, we pretty much had it in the bag anyway, didn't we? So
yeah, pretty much, mate. You get me? Only another couple wins, and then no one else can win it. So
no, exactly. And yeah, but the final question, it's caused a bit of a debate at times, but you can pick one sweet and one savoury, but what's the go-to snack in your opinion, man?
It has to be something that's a bit both with sweet and salt popcorn, mate. Get me?
Nice, okay.
So
No, I like that.
Sweet and salt popcorn, or at the minute, the white chocolate Twix or Snickers.
Yes, the white chocolate Snickers is amazing, I agree, but nice, I like it, man. Yeah, I've had some weird answers so far, but I agree with you on those.
What's the weirdest one?
It's a tough choice between LS Dean said chocolate raisins. Not about that.
He's just a weirdo, isn't he? But yeah, you'd expect that kind of.
And Jolly J, I think it was, said Marmite Twiglets.
Yeah,
and
he's German, so he lives out there in Germany. His taste has been altered. You know what I mean?
I think if you gave Marmite to a German person, they'd throw you out, they'd deport you home. But yeah, weird stuff, man. But yeah, no, it's a good call. But Joker, mate, I really appreciate you taking the time to come on, man. It's been a really fun episode, and I'll have it kind of edited and up within the next few days.
Shit, you're not fucking about, are you?
No, I'm doing my best, man. But is there anything that you wanted in like the description to the episode, like any music that you want to plug or anything like that?
Yeah, like my new group album and that, which is out. So maybe some videos and the links and that. Get me?
Definitely, I'll include that, man. And another segment of the show that I'm hoping to get started soon is I want to start doing like a weekly show where I talk a bit more about battle rappers' music and stuff, because I think it often gets really overlooked, and a lot of battlers make great music. So I'll definitely be including some of your stuff on those episodes as well, man. I'll link you when that happens. But yeah, again, man, I really appreciate you taking the time to come on. It's been great talking to you, but stay safe through these weird times, man, and I'll speak to you soon.
All right, take care, buddy. Look after yourself.
You too.
Yeah, man.
You too, man.
Cool.